So, tulafa lava, malo lele, whakalofa atu, nisa bola, hello and welcome. Tēnā koutou katoa, ko imataku ingoa, ko tararua te maunga, ko manawatu te awa, no papa I au ia au, I noho ana o ke ponaki, he kai tohu tohu mātua o, e mahi ana o ke Waka Kotahi e roto I te pumanawa tangata. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. So, kia ora, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today to hear more about Waka Kotahi, New Zealand Transport Agency and our Emerging Professionals program. Joining me is Nikora, one of our emerging professionals. So she's giving you a lovely wave there and she'll speak with us very shortly. So just a quick whip through of what today will look like. I will give you a high level overview of what Waka Kotahi, what we do, what we're all about. I'll move into our Emerging Professionals program, which is our graduate program, and then I'll hand over to Nikora to share more about her journey and time on the program. We will then finish up with some Q&A. There's our Slido there, so if you have any pārtai, you are more than welcome to drop it into the chat or scan the QR code, and the QR code will feature on the upcoming pages and you can ask questions anonymously straight into Slido or head over to slido.com. So, Waka Kotahi, our vision. We aspire to a land transport system connecting people, products and places for a thriving Aotearoa. So our motto is moving together. So a very high level overview of what we do. So we develop cycleways and walkways, improve public transport services and infrastructure. We work in partnership with local government, sitting at the centre there because we can't do things without them. We regulate the transport industry, so that's managing driver and vehicle licensing to make our land transport system safer for everyone, and we ensure communities and regions are well connected. We also have some really lofty goals. So for example, we're tackling climate change. So we want to leave behind a better Aotearoa through climate change mitigation and adaptation. We acknowledge that the land transport system is a significant contributor of greenhouse gas emissions here in Aotearoa, and so we're working to reduce carbon emissions through things like our clean carbon rebate, which increases the number of electric vehicles on our roads, and by increasing other forms of transport such as cycling, walking, and the use of public transport. You've also probably seen our Road to Zero campaign. So this is our vision for an Aotearoa where no one should be killed or seriously injured on our roads. So we're doing things like tackling unsafe speeds, and we do that through working with other agencies such as New Zealand Police to improve the safety of our vehicles and improve the safety of our roads. We've done things such as launch our safety star rating labels and the Right Car website. So this is to help Kiwis make informed decisions when purchasing new to them vehicles. So here's the business groups that make up Waka Kotahi, and our Emerging Professionals program spans the entire business. So the choice really is yours as to where you sit and fit within the organisation. So transport services, they're the folk who are responsible for planning, designing, building, operating and maintaining our transport system. So a lot of our engineers, planners, project managers tend to sit within that particular business group. Regulatory services, this group ensures people and vehicles are licensed to use the land transport system and meet all the required safety standards to do so. Our engagement and partnerships group. So that's our communications, both internal comms and external comms, our stakeholder engagement teams, regional relationships, and cross-government facilitation teams. Digital group. So this group manages all our cyber and physical security and the technology for our organisation too. Our corporate support group, so they look after functions such as legal, procurement, finance and investments, risk and assurance. And last but not least, Pumanawa Tangata, our people group. So this is your traditional human resources functions, so learning and development, people advisory and support, and talent and recruitment. So our Emerging Professionals program. So it's a 2-year rotational program, And during that time, you would complete 3 8-month rotations or 3 different team placements. So we've just looked at the business groups and where those team placements could be. So it really is an opportunity to try before you buy. So for example, if you did a double degree in planning and project management and you weren't really sure coming out the end of university which option you might like to move into, you can try a rotation in a planning team, in a project management team, and then potentially something entirely different like intelligence, and work out where it is that you want to be within the organisation so that at the end of the 2 years, you can make an informed decision. We do have opportunities across the motto as well. So you can work in Auckland, Wellington, Waikato, Christchurch, Dunedin would be our main points, but there may also be opportunities to work elsewhere as well. So we can certainly discuss that. You'll be joining a cohort of approximately 29 other emerging professionals. So there is really a sense of community. Each cohort we recruit 15 in total, and because it's a 2-year program, you'll be starting out with 14 others on the same journey as you, but then also coming into the fold of another 15 who are partway through the program already and there to support and guide you and welcome you into the organisation. And lastly, benefits. Job security. So we do offer you a permanent position from day one. So you do have that security in knowing that there is an end team in the organisation for you and that you get to have a say in where you end up as well. And like we said, try before you buy, so to speak. We also offer a competitive salary from what I hear, so that's always good news. And we have wellbeing benefits too. So for example, discounted health insurance, we have flexible working on offer and eye care assistance too. So if you need an eye check for glasses, then that's on offer as well. And I should also say that this slide was designed by our current emerging professionals. So these are the things that they said really drew them to the program and that they really appreciate now that they're on the program too. Te Ara Kotahi is our Māori strategy. So this underpins everything we do and we're working to embed it across all of our work. So as part of the Crown, we have a responsibility to ensure that our actions and engagement with Māori contribute to the improvement of the Māori Crown relationship. So we take a partnering approach when engaging with Māori. And Te Ara Kotahi provides strategic direction to ensure that we're able to do that. So the name Te Ara Kotahi symbolises the pathway that Māori and Crown walk together as envisaged by Te Tiriti o Waitangi, and it signifies Te Kotahitanga, so the unity and inclusion of all cultures. All right, so I'll now hand over to Nikora to share her journey and time at Waka Kotahi. So welcome and over to you.
Should probably unmute, huh? Tēnā koutou kua kui mai nei e mihi ana ngā mana whenua. Ko ngā tuki matawhāro tuku waka, ko maunga taniwha te maunga e runei taku ngākau. Ko huki anga te moana e mahia nei aku maharahara. Ko ngā pohi tuku iwi. E mihi ana ki ngā tohu o nehe o Wanganui a Tara e noho nei au, ko Nikora taku ingoa, e mahi ana au hei emerging professional ki Waka Kotahi. So, kia ora. My name is Nikora and I am an emerging professional living in Wellington and I'm working within the Pumanawa Tangata group, our people group, which as Emma said before is our basically our HR group. We can go to the next slide. So my journey to get here is kind of a long story to tell, but if we get the chance to meet, I'll be happy to tell you all about it. But the Cliff Notes version is after high school, I couldn't really go into university because I had an overseas qualification. It was a mess. When I got to university, I went to Unitec. Decided to change my major from performing arts to communications. Then changed universities and then changed my major again, went to Korea for a month, and then ended up back at AUT after I changed my major, and then in lockdown for a year. So the point of me telling you this is basically when I applied to this program, I actually didn't think I would get in because I felt quite new and I don't know, I just didn't feel qualified, I guess. And so I just didn't feel quite qualified, but eventually I did actually get in. And then there was like a list of teams that actually wanted me to go into their group. So I got to choose which team I wanted to go into, which was really, really quite refreshing as opposed to being told what you have to do. And I kind of spotted a Māori role and I was like, oh, cool, yeah, let's do this. So I went into the Māori role. So currently I am the graduate for our Māori advisor in Pumanawa Tangata. And basically when I got to Waka Kotahi though, I realized that like Māori and Pacific Islanders were we were a little underrepresented within the business. So I kind of made it my mission to find opportunities to spread the news about the emerging professionals program. So Emma and I have been working together to make sure that there are opportunities for Māori and Pacific Islanders to understand and know that this program is out there, and it's good. I like it anyway. So some of the work that I'm doing at Waka Kotahi, at the moment what am I doing? At the moment, I'm setting up I'm in lead, I would say, I guess I'm leading a project where I have been putting paperwork together in order to create a Māori network where we can all tautoko each other. I'm also working on creating learning sessions for the business about Māori tikanga and how we can apply it in our everyday work. I'm also like making a list of iwi so we can send out job applications or jobs when we have them pop up, so we can send them to iwi. But that's not the only kind of opportunities that we get. At the moment, I'm in a program where I am a mentor to some Auckland University students. And I will be doing a panel discussion open to the whole business to watch, which I'm quite nervous about. It's on Friday. And a few of the other graduates and I have kind of just like gathered together, and we've decided to create some marketing and promotional material for the EP program as well, or for the emerging professional program as well. And all of this work and all of these really cool opportunities, but I haven't even been here for 6 months yet, which is crazy. But it's been really, really good so far. So I guess that's what I have to say.
Awesome. Thanks, Nikora. All right. So I will close down this and bring up our Slido. All right. Hopefully we're seeing the Slido. Okay, so I can see we've got one question in there so far. So I'll hand this over to you, Nikora. What surprised you about joining Waka Kotahi? Did anything surprise you?
I'm not quite sure. I think what surprised me most was just how kind everybody was. It sounds really cliche, but yeah, everyone was quite nice, and everyone is always willing to kind of help or guide as well, which is really cool. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. So if you've got any questions, head over to Slido or just pop it into the chat and we can answer them for you. So we are starting TupuToa internships this year, which is very exciting. So we'll start with approximately 3 interns over the summer. And we do plan to transition our interns into our emerging professionals program too. So if you are applying for a TupuToa internship and you would like to stay in the longer term, then there will be an option for you to carry on into the 2-year program. What's your favourite thing about working at Waka Kotahi, Nikora? Do you have a favourite thing?
When we have shared lunches and people bring food in.
Brilliant.
The sausage rolls are really, really good, just saying. No, I think another one of my favorite things is the sense of community. I think I said something like that before, but I guess I was really surprised also about flexi work, which is quite common these days, but I'm used to working like, 9 to 5, have to be there at this time and have to do this and that. So when I heard that I could just, take an hour off and go to the gym and make it up later, like I was very excited about that.
Excellent. Glad to hear that's working well for you on the ground. Yeah. And how have you found it with COVID and, Omicron and things being a bit different?
I really like working from home, to be honest, but there's a lot of flexibility about being able to work from home. Also, because I'm from Auckland, I have a holiday, not a holiday, I have a trip to go up there, and I'm staying in Auckland for a week, and I'm able to work from home, but I'm also able to go into the Auckland office as well and work in that office. So that flexibility is really cool as well.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you for that. I see we've got a question in the chat now as well. So what does NZTA do differently from Auckland Transport? Good question. So my understanding is, Auckland Transport focuses on Auckland specifically, whereas we're across the whole entire country. So we really do have that partnership with local and regional government, of which Auckland Transport is one that we partner with. I can't speak to what the opportunities look like at Auckland Transport, but what I can say is that we're open to a wide variety of backgrounds and degrees. So whether that is engineers, planners, project management, which are key to our work, but it might also be policy, for example, given that we sit within that Crown entity government space. So we do have policy opportunities too. And then it might be similar to Nekora, where it might be comms, marketing, human resources, could be finance, where we're quite open to the backgrounds and the opportunities. We do quite a bit in the research space. There's some really interesting work being undertaken there at the moment. So data analytics, for example, or quantitative research, a lot of interviews that happen, a lot of looking at behaviours of people on our transport systems. So there's quite a scope of work, and more than happy to connect and answer any questions in regards to the specific type of work that you're looking for, or the degree that you did and what that might lend itself to here as well.
I think as well, we also had a graduate that was working with us and still is, and she was living in Auckland, and then didn't she decide to move to Hamilton as well? Like, I think Waka Kotahi is quite flexible about where you're living. I had the option to be in either Auckland or Wellington, which was really, really nice, because it also meant that like I could just decide if I wanted to move back to Auckland.
Yes. I imagine that's probably a bit harder with Auckland Transport, but I don't know for sure. Awesome. Well, I think that's our time, isn't it, Taylor?
Yes, thank you. Those sausage roll part got me a bit hungry, I must say. But no, thanks. Thanks for jumping on, Emma and Nicola. Yeah, great insights. And yeah, I'm sure hopefully, I think your details are in the chat somewhere if anyone's got some further questions. Oh, and I just exit out my screen. But yeah, sorry.
Posted the email, sorry.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, feel free to hit them up on email if need be as well. But yeah, again, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, speaking of Auckland Transport, they're up next.
Yeah. So you can ask them the questions.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Cheers, Emma and Nicola. Have a good day.
Thanks very much for having us. Ka kite.
Ka kite.